Hello everybody, this is VG time, here again with another deck profile. Courtesy of my homie Jason, we worked on this together. This is the new Towa leader. I believe this leader is the most misclassified leader that I've seen in a long time. A lot of people have built this deck already. You can find plenty of profiles out there. And you will see a lot of them try to build this deck as a mid-range deck. There is nothing in this deck when I read the cards that says that this deck is mid-range. In fact, I will go as far as to say this, and it's a hot take: mono black mid-range does not exist. You could build it, but it is not good. You are either black and hyper aggressive and you're good, such as your Gogeta Xenos, your Vegex, so on and so forth, or you're black and control and really good, like your Hachiaks, like your Metrigaboras, things like that. When you are trying to play mid-range as black, you don't have the tools necessary to do that properly. And that means that other decks could either outgrind you or aggress past whatever defensive measures you have to kill you, and you didn't do anything to them to make them think otherwise. So let me explain why I think she's aggro versus the control side of the spectrum. Hello everybody, it's your boy VG time. I'm interrupting right now just to ask if you really do enjoy the content to please subscribe to the channel, or at least leave a like on the video so it can reach more people. I do have a subscriber goal at the end of the year of 500. Any little bit helps. So back to the program. And the first thing is when it attacks. When she attacks, she does not draw any cards. What she does do though is she makes the Demon Realm tokens. So she doesn't get you cards. If you don't get a bunch of cards, you can't play mid-range or control. That's why I never thought of her as mid-range, and that's why I definitely don't think of her as control. These tokens could be used for combo power, but they're also used to fuel other abilities. You build them up over time, all that good stuff. The second reason why I look at her as an aggro leader is her awakening condition. So when you're at 3 or less life, or you have a 3-cost Unison, you get to awaken. It's the next part. You untap 2 energy. You also make a token, but the main thing is you untap 2 energy. Untap 2 has traditionally been the awakening of choice for really aggressive decks. And the reason is that untapping 2 energy allows you to keep pressing forward, especially if you're not playing blue of any kind. On the backside, she finally starts getting cards, but she swings, draws the cards, makes a token. And again, these things build up over time. I've had like 5, 6, 7, 8 tokens on the table. She has the ability to pitch a card from your hand as activate main to make 2 tokens in rest mode. Usually you want to use those to pay for effects and things like that over the active mode ones. And then she has activate battle once per turn, spirit boost 1, cost of black, to choose your Unison and give it 10k and double strike. So again, most of the things he has is giving aggro. So Unison, we have the mirror, 20k Unison, specified cost 3. It's the only Unison that allows you to awaken if your opponent is trying to sandbag you, but we also have other ways of doing it. Auto, you get to choose one of your skillless battle cards and give a blocker for the turn, and you do that on your opponent's turn. So that way you have a little bit of defense. Also, it has 2+1s. The first one makes 2 tokens, so it generates combo power. The second one is +1, banish one of your skillless battle cards, and then warp one of your opponent's battle cards and draw a card. So it also has removal and card advantage built into the kit. Now I have it built up of several engines, the first one being the Poutine engine. You top 3 for a DDE, which is a Demon God, Demon Realm Race, or Evil Wizard. And you add it to your hand and put the other 2 at the bottom of your deck in any order. She has swap 3 for a Spirit Boost of 1, Poutine with a cost of 3 from your hand by choosing a card from your hand and putting it at the bottom of your deck. So you play this first turn usually, unless you're going second. And then you are able to swap once you play your Unison into a 3-cost Poutine. The main one that we want to swap into is Demon God Poutine Umbral Might. When you play her from hand, you're able to generate a token. You are able to use the tokens with her as an activate battle to restand her, draw a card, and give her plus 10k. So you can swing with her, restand her and make her a 25, and then swing for 15 again, or keep her up as a blocker. She also has Dark Overwhelm 3 for a cost of 1 to also be able to play her from your hand. So if you don't get this, she is still a good card. Other main target is Demon God Poutine, Mind Wiped Malevolence. This one, when you play her from your hand, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with cost 4 or less and gain control of it. So if they have something good out there, something nice and aggressive, you could just swap into this, take it, keep it pushing. Next, she has her own engine, which is pretty efficient that she uses, especially if you're going second. So the first one is Salsa. Salsa is your main way of getting cards when you're on the front side other than taking your own life. So you could play this for 1 if you have the token out, then you can swing and you can top 5 for a Demon God, an Android, or this Unison. Because the ability for it to search an Android, a lot of people run the mirror chain in it. And if it works for you, that's fine. But in my testing against a lot of decks, it's actually not good at all. Because if you're going against red or green, they could, or even blue, they could deal with the 3-drop. And if you're going against yellow, they could deal with the 7-drop without any real issue. And so at that point, all they did was lose 3 cards in their hand in a deck where they're drawing a ton of cards. Against green, again, they could just charismatic. Blue could God Sealing the 3-drop. It just doesn't seem great to me at all. But when it goes off, it's pretty powerful, so I could see why people take the risk. I just think that it's not really worth the risk. We have Demon God Poutine Imperial Warrior. This right here is a blocker. You could play it for a single black if you have a token out. And then you could, as an activate main once per turn, get rid of the token and make a 2-drop vanilla from your deck or drop area. That's pretty important because that means you don't have to run that main of the vanillas. And if they get rid of it, you could just bring it straight back using this card skill. The Shroom. We only played 2 of it because this ability is tied to Spirit Boost. If it wasn't tied to Spirit Boost, this would be one of the most busted cards I've ever seen in my life. But being tied to Spirit Boost makes it reasonable. Basically, when it swings, if you could Spirit Boost 1, you could warp one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, ignoring barrier. So this card right here is a Bane of Trunks Vegeta. Your leader ability to make a token gets around the Poutines. You can then play this, swing, Spirit Boost 1, get rid of one of their better cards. So I just think it's overall just a great card. Next aggressive engine we're running, 4 copies of Demagra Demonic Overload. This is a old school, I think, anniversary box promo or something like that. You could pay 2, burst 2, pitch it to the yard, and take 1 or 2 life to your hand. That's important. So if you're at 1 and you got this in your hand, you can't use it, you'll just die. But when you do that, you can play a Poutine and a Gravy from your deck. Our main targets, there's several. One is Frigid Blast Poutine. So if you're going against like something playing real slow and you need to be able to take your life to get to the back to start gaining cards as quick as possible, you can make this. This will get you another copy of this, and then you have it set up for turn 3, especially if you don't happen to have the Unison. There's also Dark Overwhelm 3 for free. So if you do happen to have 3 cards in a drop, this is in your hand, you could use this, get something else, Dark Overwhelm, and then get another copy, and it sticks around. Poutine, the Dark Sorcerer. This is usually what I like to go for if I need to be able to buy a turn. Like I want to be able to set up for like turn 3 or turn 4 to kill, and I just make this right here to tap down the first card they play, or at least a card on the table after they play a card. Another target is the Gravy. So if you don't, so you know, you can play a Poutine in the gravy. You could decide to like play these two, and then now you got 2 cards handled, and it helps to get you to the next turn. This gravy is a blocker, and if it is KO'd or removed by a skill, you get to untap an energy. Then this card serves double duty. Not only is it a target off of this, but it's also the main target off of that, which is just called gravy. It's a 20k vanilla. Boss monster time. 5-drop Demon God Towa Furious Onslaught. This card is actually a 2-drop in most cases because you're able to generate tokens so easily. And as long as you have 2 or more tokens, you're able to play this for 2. When it swings, it has an auto limit 1 that allows you to sack 2 of the tokens, restand it, give it +5 for the turn, and draw a card. So it's a 25k double striker that also happens to be able to swing twice. And yeah, 25 twice is nothing to sneeze at. Supreme Kaya Time Brainwashed. This is our ultimate of choice. It's a 50k double striker that you could then trade out for a floodgate to get you to the next turn that you need to be able to push through and kill your opponent. That's kind of how aggro works. Like you hit them and then you set up something to allow you to get another turn. And if they play a bunch of stuff on their turn and don't take into account how many actions you could take the following turn, you just win. 4 copies of Vegeta Super Combo. I chose this because, again, we have ways of managing our life, and we also want to make sure cards are where they're supposed to be. So if we need to be able to search a card from the deck, we could put it on the bottom, draw 2, and then get the card out later. So that's why I kind of like that. I tell you, Towa was a very hard consideration though, because again, this right here inherently puts cards in a drop. But also we have Overwhelm, so it makes Sparking 5 a little difficult. So yep, Vegeta. Next super combo, 4 copies of Kai. When you're playing an aggressive deck like this, you need to be able to put serious numbers on opponents. Kai helps you to do that. 2 copies of Realm of the God Crimson Hero Strike. This not only helps you to get rid of big things on your turn and give combo power, and it also gives combo power or power to your Unison, which is something that some alternatives don't do. But also on your opponent's turn, you're able to use it defensively to trade it in for a card to mill 3, so that then can set up overwhelm plays on the following turn. Then proactive, we have Super Kamehameha. Again, we're able to get our life total down. So that means that we're able to use this on the turns we're trying to go in to prevent their floodgate negates from being an issue. And then last but not least, 2 copies of Petrification. Petrification is a concession I made. I don't actually like negates in these kind of decks at all, but some of the stuff being played is too stupid to not have a negate for. So they play their big Goku and they swing with it, Petrification. Vegeta, swing with it, Petrification. Vegeta Trunks, swing with it, Petrification. And you just keep going down the list. Petrification is an absolute necessity to stop these big dumb boss monsters that are running rampant. So this is my build of Towa in conjunction with the homie Jason. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time, and this is VG Time signing out.